Hello, it's your favorite sports Unc here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the fastest growing community on YouTube. Remember, Nightcap doesn't happen without you. So please subscribe or you're going to make Ocho cry. The Celtics beat the Cavs, go on the road, take back home court, 106-93. Big night for Jayson Tatum. Yep. He led the Celtics in points, 33, rebounds, 13, assists, 6. Got 28 points from his sidekick. Hard to say he's a sidekick, but his co-host, Jaylen Brown, gave him 28. The Celtics, there have been 3 Celtics with at least 30 points in 25 games. Larry Bird, John Havlicek, Jayson Tatum. That's it. We understand the storied history of the Boston Celtics. 3 players in the history of that franchise have had at least 25 30-point playoff games. Larry Bird, John Havlicek, Jayson Tatum. And boy, did they need it, because Jayson Tatum has not been playing well in these playoffs. He could ill afford to have a situation where the Cavaliers, game 2, go on the road, steal home court from the Celtics. But they needed this type of game from JT. He gave it to him, 33 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists, led the team in points, rebound, assists, and they snatched back home court, 106-93. Ocho, what did you like tonight from what you saw from the Celtics?
Well, I asked you before when we talked a few days ago, what were the chances in the Cavs actually winning this series? And you and Gil politely told me they don't really have a chance as long as the Celtics come out and play the type of game they played tonight. They need Jayson Tatum to play well. I'm waiting on Derek White to show up and do what he did the last series. I'm waiting on Derek White to have one of those shooting nights. Obviously, Drew Holiday contributed tonight his 15, 5-5 playoff game, and that's cool. As long as Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum show up, I think the Celtics have a good chance at winning the East in general, period. And it was an exciting game for me. It's what I would expected. Again, I hear a lot of people get upset at me about me not having a knowledge for the game of basketball, but I'm learning, and I'm learning really well, because you know how you can tell? Because I'm talking fucking fast. When I'm talking fast, I know what I'm talking about because I watched and I did my homework. So I did my homework tonight. And listen, the Celtics did what they need to do. Again, Derek White. I need to see the Derek White that I saw in the last series. That was efficient from the field. Tonight he was only 4 for 13. He only had 12 points. But I need to see the guy shooting and being efficient, putting the ball on the floor, driving to the basket that I saw against in the last series. And that's pretty much it. I like the Cavs. Again, when I look at the Cavs, if Garland is not playing well, I see the Cavs as a one-headed monster led by Donovan. And he just cannot do it by himself. It has to be a complete team effort. And what I've learned about basketball is night in and night out, there are ups and downs. Sometimes you're cold, sometimes you're warm. Sometimes you're on, sometimes you're off. So, it got to be a collective effort from the Cavs if they're going to want to stay in this series and make it at least a challenge, for the better part.
Well, they got 33. We know they got 61 from their dynamic duo, Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
Yes, sir.
But Holiday chipped in tonight. He was 7 of 10 from the floor, 3 of 4 from the three-point line. He had 8 rebounds and 5 assists. Derek White, as you mentioned, he gave him 12 points. But as long as one of those other two, long as either Derek White or Holiday comes along, can give them somewhere 18 to 20, but they really need Jayson Tatum. They're not going to win. They're not going to win with Jayson Tatum unless he can produce at a very high level.
Right.
And that he's the cog. He's the key that turns this thing. Yes, we know Jaylen Brown. I like Jaylen Brown. I think he's more athletic. He can get to the rim. He can finish. But JT, man, he has it all. He got the mid-range. He can shoot the 3. He can finish with either hand. And, a lot of times tonight he was taking a challenge. He's taking Donovan Mitchell. He's playing Garland. They was doing a lot of – because they switch everything.
Yeah.
They switch everything. And that's what makes them so unique. You got an all-NBA defender in Holiday. You got an all-NBA defender in Derek White. Tatum and JB, they're very athletic. They can switch. Al Horford is a premier defender. So they like to switch everything. They don't like to trap anybody. They don't like to blitz anybody. They feel they can take anybody one-on-one and do a great job of neutralizing them.
Right.
But as long as Tatum and Brown play like they're playing and they can get Derek White or Holiday to come along with them, they're going to be just fine. I just don't think the Cavs have enough offense, especially with Garland not playing as well as he needs to play to go along with Donovan. Because Spider going to give you what he does. Spider is a playoff. He's a big time playoff guy. And he's going to give you great production. Garland can't give you 15 when he need to give you 25.
Right.
Because if one guy giving you 33, because you see what you got from the Celtics big two?
Yeah.
You got 61.
Right.
The other team gave you 48. The other big two gave you 48.
Now, and listen, not it all come to fruition. Now it makes sense to me when we talk about NBA players, and obviously I'm from the outside looking in. Now I'm learning a little bit. I'm learning a little bit more now that I'm somewhat submerged into it and learn the ins and outs and the nuance of the game of basketball. Now I see with the inconsistencies in the playoff, where you can't rely on everybody. Some teams have a one-headed monster, some have a two, sometimes have a three, and even if you have a three-headed monster, the inconsistency from the top players ain't always consistent as it should be. Now I see why certain players always want to have a super team. You see?
Yeah.
Now, if I know I get somebody that can be efficient 89, 90% of the time, I think my chances are better as opposed to playing with role players that are off and on each and every night and you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, because role players normally play better at home than on the road. And another thing is because
that matters in basketball too?
Hell yeah, it matters.
Wait, yeah, I'm confused. Crowd noise doesn't affect you playing the game of basketball.
They just play better for whatever reason. Role players play better at home than they do on the road. Okay, also, you cut your bench. Where in the regular season, you might play 9 to 10. Now you're going to play 8. Now you're going to play 7. And so now you really need those guys to play because you're not going to have the depth on the bench that you normally would have. So now you really need your players to play well, and guys that come in off the bench, you need them to play their role and do what they normally do in the regular season.
So the length of time they play when the playoffs comes, it increases.
No, you cut your bench. So you might play 10 guys in the regular season. You're going to cut that down to 7 and 8.
That's confusing me.
So you start 5. And so you might have a 10-man rotation.
Right.
Once the playoffs start, you're going to cut that down to 8, maybe even 7, because your guys are going to play more minutes. You're going to see guys playing in the 40s, 42, 44.
Right.
You'll see a Josh Hart play 3-4 games where he plays all 40, 48 minutes. So the guys that you normally like your bench, normally 10 deep, they're not going to get those minutes because your star players are going to play more minutes, and the 2 or 3 guys that you play coming off the bench, they're going to be in the high 20s, maybe even 30s. So now, because of that, I really need to get the production from the guys that I'm counting on. And when the guys come off the bench, I really need you to carry your load. Because look, you can only play your guys 48 minutes so many games before you wear them down. And if it's a long series, the last thing you want is to get into a long series and your guys have played 44, 45, 46 minutes the first 5 games, and now all of a sudden you got to go a 7-game series, and you're asking them to play because the games are starting to go back to back. Now you're playing every other day.
Right.
But give the Celtics credit. They showed you why they're the number 1 seed in the East. They showed you why they won 64 ball games, because it was a game like this. They got demolished at home. But I think the Cavs, the only chance they have, Ocho, is that they're going to have to shoot them out the gym from the 3. You see the difference in the ball game from the 3? The other night they made 18, 19 threes. Tonight they only made 12. The Celtics made 13. The other night they was 9 of like 30. So even if they don't hit their 20, as long as they make more threes than the other team, because they're going to get them up now. Because that's everything is predicated on the 3 ball for the Celtics. They're going to drive and kick. They're going to, they're looking to do anything, get into the lane and kick. Now, occasionally, JT will pull up over the top. JB will pull up over the top. But they're looking because their guys are spread out. Al Horford's behind the 3 line. Derek White's behind the 3 line. Holiday, Pritchard, Hauser came in and made some big shots for him coming in off the bench. And that's what you need. But unless the Cavs can replicate what they did in game 2, a la what the Heat did in game 2 on the road, unless they can replicate that, I really don't see them having enough firepower to overtake the Celtics.
Nah, it ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen.
The Mavs won their 2nd game in a row and take over home.
Hey, PJ, go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna let you finish. Let me go first, though.
Okay. The Mavs won their 2nd straight game on the road and run their 2nd straight game in a row over the Thunder to take a 2-1 series lead. PJ Washington continued his dominant playing, scoring a team high 27 points on 11 of 23 shooting, with 5 made threes. Luka and Kyrie both had 22 points. Kyrie dished out 7 assists, and Luka grabbed 15 rebounds. Kyrie this postseason in the first half, he's only scoring 6.3 a game. But in the second half, he looks like Kyrie on a 50-50 split. He's shooting 57% from the floor, 54% from the three. And we saw he did what he did against the Nuggets with that left hand. He put the ball on the floor. He dipsy-do, split the seam between two defenders, got the ball up with the left hand, and for all intents and purposes, ended the game. But the Mavs win. They take a 2-1 series lead. We know the last game, they took home court away from OKC by winning on the road game 2. They win game 3, take a 2-1 series lead. Take off.
Hey, PJ Washington. Hey, PJ, I know you're going to see this. Boy, you the real deal, boy. You the real deal. But then back-to-back games, 25 plus points, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. If Luka Doncic has an off night, if Kyrie has an off night, and they're not shooting well, Kyrie likes to turn it on when he wants to. He can pick and choose he wants to turn on. Sometimes he'll facilitate in the first half, and then times he'll take over when he needs to take over in the fourth or third quarter. Boy, if PJ Washington could stay in this rhythm of consistency and confidence, man, Mavs got a good chance, man. Mavs got a good chance. What I do need, and I mean no disrespect by this. Daniel Gafford, Derrick Jones Jr., you got to give me something, baby. You got to give me something. I ain't asked for much. I just learned, Unc just told me and taught me about how when you get to the playoffs, they cut down. So if the Mavs done cut down to 7 or cut down to 8, that means y'all got to be on that court. You got to contribute. You got to give me something.
Yes.
I ain't even asked for much, but just give me something.
Yes.
I'm learning the game of basketball, so I'm watching you, so I need you to give me something so I have something else to talk about outside of PJ Washington and goddamn Kyrie and Luka. Come on now.
What's great about this is that Luka was 7 of 17, but PJ is picking up the slack. Kyrie is trying. Look, the thing that I can say about Kyrie is taking the challenge defensively. Right. If you notice, he's guarding Shai. He's guarding Jalen Williams. Their best 2 offensive weapons. He's taking on that assignment. He's like, okay, Luka, do your thing. Now he sees in the fourth quarter.
Right.
I need to turn it on. You look at him. The first 3-4 buckets, they get the ball to Kyrie. Kyrie go make it happen. Okay, now he's in a rhythm. PJ Washington never lost his rhythm. So now as Kyrie breaking the defense down, he can kick the PJ in the corner, bang, short porch. And so if you look at what they're doing, look at PJ Washington. He played 40 minutes. Derrick Jones Jr., he played 36 minutes. Kyrie played 41 minutes. Luka played 40 minutes. You see, now even Daniel Gafford played 20 minutes. Lively played 27 minutes. Lively would play even more, but they started the hacker shack, the hacker Lively, because late in the ball game, they say, you know what? We're not stopping y'all from getting good shots. Right. Let's just foul him. We'll roll the dice because we don't believe he's going to make both of them.
Nah.
So we'll roll the dice. We think there's a greater chance he'll make one or miss both as opposed to making both. Right. So even if he makes one, that's only 1 point. We come down, we can slash it into it like that. Right. So they had to get him off the court to bring Gafford back in. But he gives you so much defensively. He's a big body presence. He's going to challenge everything at the rim. He's great at when Kyrie and Luka breaks the defense down, getting to the lane, he's great at finishing above the rim. But they're stopping the game. Yeah. Because they hack him, he go to the line. And there's no clock moving. So he's going to have to get better. So that's going to be something that he has to work on, put some extra time in. But if you look at them, they played 8 guys. Dante Exum, who's one of their key contributors, he only played 6 minutes. Josh Green played 15 minutes. Like I said, Lively played 27 minutes. Even Hardaway only played 16 minutes when the other night he played like 24 to 28 minutes.
Hey, how do they pick and choose when they want a player to play more minutes? As far as Hardaway only played 16 tonight but played 25 something the last game, who makes that decision? The coach?
Hot man, stay in. Hot man, stay in.
Okay. So if somebody cold, coach.
Hey, you gotta get him out of there. You gotta get him out of there. You see game 2?
Yeah.
Hardaway got it going.
Yeah.
Not only
hold on now. Now I know, and I've never seen. I asked it before. If you don't want to come out the game and coach sub you out, what happens if you refuse to come out the game?
It all depends on who it is. Like if I don't know if anybody noticed this, but Luka, he motioned for Gafford and PJ Washington to come back in the game. Even before Jason Kidd summoned, he looked at him and he motioned like, get to the scorer's table.
Real?
Oh yeah. The big guys like, hey, are you tired? Nah, man, I'm good. Hey, get to the stable. LeBron has that kind of cachet.
Right.
Luka has that kind. Steph Curry has that kind of cachet.
Right.
Those are the big name guys that do a lot of the ball handling. Like, hey, I need y'all. Come on, let's go.
I'm thinking about. I don't know why it just hit me when you were talking about Hardaway not playing as many minutes as he did the last time.
Mm-hmm.
Remember how I told you in the preseason games? Now it's just preseason. I used to make Marvin Lewis call a timeout because I didn't want to come out the game.
Right.
Even though it's preseason, it meant that much to me to get myself in a rhythm.
Right.
I know I'm not going to have it. I could be in training camp. I could run 100 plays. It's never will be the same as opposed to when you're playing live against another opponent.
Absolutely.
It's completely different. And I wanted to get that rhythm and that feeling. And playing one series just wasn't enough for me. So I could imagine as a basketball player, if you are off and coach subbing you out, I would get your attitude. Why would you sub me out? And I need to find a way to get in the rhythm. I got to get a layup. I got to hit something. We got to run a play just to get me off. If I can't deal or get this or go off the ball, set me a goddamn pick or something. Give me an ISO. Give me something. Just don't take me out the game.
That's why it's harder than people think to be a role player, because you're not going to get the minutes and you're not going to get the shots that are Luka, that are LeBron, that are Steph Curry, that are Kevin Durant, that are Devin Booker's going to get. So it's hard. So with the minutes that you get, it's kind of like a guy that comes in. He's the fourth or fifth wide receiver.
Right.
Bro, you can't afford to drop him because you're not going to get that many. You're not going to get that many targets.
Now I understand why the stat lines look the way they do in the playoffs, and certain people don't want to shoot the goddamn ball.
Mm-hmm. Because you think about it. The fourth wide receiver, he's not going to get that many targets. So when we come to you on third down, you got to catch the ball to keep us on the field.
Mm.
The role players, when they come to you, you got to make that shot. Right. But it's like, coach, bro, I just got in the game. I ain't even warm yet. You got, but see, that's why you got to, you got to stay ready.
Yeah.
Like you said, we got a 2-minute game. We got a 2-minute drive going on. Hey, you done caught 4 or 5. You done caught 4 or 5 passes. Mm-hmm. You need a blow, but you important. We got to call timeout. Okay, Ocho, get your breath. We got to come back.
Ah, that's crazy.
That's how. So it's more difficult. We get on the role players, but it's a lot harder you think, because you're not going to get 20 shots. You might only get 5 to 7 shots, but they're asking you in a playoff atmosphere.
Right.
You need to make 3 or 4 of those.
Yeah. And that's crazy. You say you can't get 20 shots, but if you're on the floor long enough and the ball comes your way and you know how to beat a dude off the dribble, I mean, you could just start chucking that bitch up anyway on your own.
Hey. No, you're not finna start chunking that thing up on your own.
I mean, a good shot. Now, I'm not just.
Oh, yeah, but I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but what happens when that shot doesn't go in? Remember, you're not going to get all of those opportunities. You look at, hold on. Let me pull this back because I don't have I'm obviously not at home. Look at the role players. Okay, Lively was 2 of 7. Mm-hmm. Josh Green played 15 minutes. He was 1 of 3. Hardaway played 16 minutes. He was 3 of 9. Luka, Kyrie took 34 shots. PJ Washington took 23 shots.
Damn.
So now you're talking about 34 and 23. You're talking about 57 shots between 3 guys. They only took 91. So and Derrick Jones was 1 of 10. So now you talk about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The other guys took 44 shots.
Mm.
You see?
Yeah.
That's 7 shots divided up between all the rest of them. Per. You see? So now when you get the opportunities, it's kind of like a guy coming in off the bench. And hey, Ocho, you that 5th wide receiver.
Yeah.
You drop the third down. You dropped the fourth down. People looking, man, why didn't y'all go to Ocho? Well, Ocho was double. He was wide open. What was I supposed to do? They said, well, LeBron, why didn't you shoot the shot? Steph Curry, why didn't you shoot the shot? Because the guy was standing over there in the dunker spot, wide ass open.
Right.
So it's a lot of pressure. It's a make or miss league. Either you make the shot or you don't. Yeah. It's really that simple. I can drop all the X's and O's or not.
Right.
Did the ball go in the basket, Ocho?
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
And kind of like I said, Kyrie is kind of like feeling it out in the first half. He let Luka get going. And Luka's kind of beat all the hell. He's got a bad back. He's got a bad knee.
Knee messed up too, huh? Hey, how he's so young and he walked like an old man already? Something wrong? Something wrong with you? Think he lied about his age? He really older than what he
no. Luka, but you got to realize Luka like been playing pro ball, Ocho, since he's like 15 or 16.
Yeah, but you see how he moving, how he walk? He walked like an old man. Like he's like a young person in an old person body. I don't know if that makes sense.
How about this? This comment got me in trouble last time. Luka needs to do a better job of taking care of himself in the offseason. Okay. Jayson Kidd has let it be known that he would like for Luka to come in better shape and not play himself into shape, but to come into camp already in shape.
All right. At least somewhat there, at least 50% there. Okay.
No, but here's the thing. In the offseason, I mean, Ocho, that's your job. Your job is to be in shape.
Yeah, but I think when it comes to especially somebody like him, that I'm assuming the way they do things are different wherever Luka is from. And maybe when it's the off season, they literally take off season literally off.
Yeah.
Period.
Oh yeah.
So when I go to camp, I'll play myself into shape as opposed to here we do things a little different, especially in off season. Basketball is a part of their livelihood, even when it's the off season.
Mm-hmm. I think the thing is, Ocho, is that American basketball players grow up saying, "I want to be best. I want to be better than Jordan. I want to be." I don't think European players grow up thinking that. Right. They're like, this is an opportunity for them. They're going to make more money beyond their wildest dreams. And, you know, obviously the 92 Olympics, it opened up basketball to the world because now all those guys, the Dirk Nowitzkis and all these guys that saw the pro players playing, because prior to 92, it was all collegiate players, except for the rest of the world. They sent their pro players where Americans sent their college players. But after the Americans bombed out in 88 in Seoul could say yes, the 84 was in LA, Seoul, because 92 was in Barcelona. Yeah. Once they bombed out there, Oscar Schmidt did a number on the Brazilian team, did a number on them. And after that, they're like, nah, hell no. Y'all sending y'all pros, we're gonna send our pros. Because they started getting better and better. Because before, from the beginning of time, we always sent collegiate players, and with the exception of 72, when the Americans got robbed in Munich, the Americans won the gold. So 72, 76 in Montreal, we won. We boycotted in 80 because of the invasion of Afghanistan by the Russians, although it was held in the Soviet year. It was held in Russia. 84, we won it. And then 88, we got the brakes breed off of Ocho in Seoul. And they said, oh no. Yeah. And then we sent in 92 and we won and so forth and so on. So that's kind of how that started. But I've been really impressed with Kyrie because we know he can score. He's the greatest finisher that you're gonna see. Yeah. Nobody handled the ball, he got the ball on the string. Hey, 3 mid, finish either hand or spin it off the rim, up and under. You foul him, he's gonna go make 90%. So we know what he's capable of. But what I've been most impressed with him is watching him on the defensive end.
Yeah. Playing a little defense.
He's been getting after it. He's been getting after it.